like an idiot.
Well, let's see. Okay, mic's on. Oh, that's hot. That's hot audio. That's good. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. How are you? Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. And if you're not doing well, I hope you're doing somebody else. I'm kidding. You couldn't do that and watch the show at the same time. There's just too many details. Yeah. I'd like to remind everybody, hit that like button early. Hold on. Did my little thing? Hold on. Let me see if I can make my. That sounds weird, but let me see if I can make my little thing work. I'm trying to create a reminder. Don't worry about it, Steve. I've got an angle. Let's see. Oh, yes, this guy right here. Just a little reminder that we're shooting for our 100K goal. 1K, 100K, all the 100s in the K, okay? You get me? So 100,000 subscribers on Instagram and, well, I think we already have that. But Facebook page and YouTube, 100K on there. And then 1,000 subscribers on Twitch would be really helpful. Just saying, it's nice to have, as, I forget the old Louisiana guy who used to give all those self-help speeches. You got to have goals if you're gonna make it in life. You got to have goals if you want to succeed. You got to have goals, or you're gonna end up, quite frankly, in a ditch covered in old leaves, trying to, hopefully the car passes by without that dude seeing that you were the dude who leapt out of the window when his old lady was home. I don't even know. You know what? I don't even know why I'm explaining myself to you. So you got to have goals if you want to get ahead in life. So our goal is 100K on YouTube. Please help us get there. And one of the ways you can do it easiest, hit that like early. That's right. Hit that like when you're ready to, because you know it's going to be a good show. Come on. I mean, who's your pal? I mean, here I am on the regular, just bringing it home every single time, wearing myself, running myself out, running myself ragged. Do I look thinner? Thanks very much. I think it's just because my hair's up. I am not, for all practical purposes, thinner. It may be the focal length of this lens. I feel good though. I feel solid. My left arm is still recovering. It's still getting some size back. It's smaller. Definitely, my left arm is definitely smaller. That's true. Because of the shoulder injury and all this stuff. But literally, over the 3 or 4 months where I couldn't work out my arm, it's smaller than my right one. My right was doing all even the marginally heavy lifting during that time. Now, I still have strength in that arm, redneck strength. You're welcome. But it'll take a while to get the size back. So there's that. Hi. How you doing? Anyways, you don't need to know that. I should just, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go straight up with like, I'm going to call HIPAA and not tell you guys anything. Just because you're my boss, you think you have the right to know my health situations? Just help me get to 100K and get on with it. Love you guys. All right. So a couple things right out of the gate. Obviously, there's plenty of stupid around the Houthi stuff. I'll give you a good example. Hold on one second. This is good. Hold on. There's a let's see. Okay, that's BBC News. I want to show you something that I watched earlier. Oh, it's going to be on this side. I have to look up all the shit that I was. Yeah, history. There we go. God damn. I like the history of my viewer history on YouTube frightens me sometimes because just the number of like the stupid shit I end up having to scroll through in this friggin' craziness. Yeah, here it is. Right there. I talked about this earlier. Now, before I even get into this, before I even show you this video, and I gotta say, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, and I hope to God all of you reach the level of absolute privileged comfort that the person I'm about to show you has achieved in their life. I mean, it's a dream. It is the American fucking dream. To live basically in a Pottery Barn catalog, I think is what we all go for. And I know what you're saying. No, it's not Glenn Beck. You know, folks, as I've looked through Pottery Barn catalogs, and I would see those, and I was just envious. There's the lack of clutter. Oh, it's amazing. And I was like, where's all their stuff? Jesus Christ, everything is so well laid out of this. There's no clutter. And I was like, I want to live like the people in the Pottery Barn catalog. And then I realized there are no people in the Pottery Barn catalog. That's why there's no shit everywhere, because it's empty. It's just, they design these places. They have an interior desecrator come in and fluff the pillows, and then they bug the fuck out. Nobody's allowed in the fucking building. That from that point forward, it's nice. Yeah, it's tidiness porn. That's exactly what it is, Bruce. It's like it's whacking material for people where like organizational skills is their sparks joy. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's it's this fella right here. This KK Kalinske right here. From the ironically named Secular Talk, since his beliefs are based on sort of a religious understanding of politics as opposed to a materials-based or scientific or facts-based approach. So anyways, and by the way, I gotta say, if you believe the end of the world is coming at any point, you really do believe that, and that's part of your sales pitch, that it's like kind of right around the corner, kind of like Glenn Beck, whatever. You can't have tidy facial hair and an upkeep do. You can't do it. You can't get your tips done in the apocalypse. I'm just saying. So I always call bullshit with anybody who has a well-trimmed beard, goatee setup, including Glenn Beck, or any of their outfits are put together. Never mind. Also, this guy has a tendency to say dog at the end of sentences when referring to the person that he is allegedly talking to, as if he is down with OPP or something. It's very weird. It's so fucking weird. Yes, he's going full Roseanne. He's making videos from his bed. You're in bed. You're doing this from fucking bed. You're in bed. What? Fucking in bed. Get the fuck out of bed. And don't even go into the other office and fucking sit at a desk. Stand up. Do your goddamn job. All right, anyways. I don't know, whatever. I don't even know what his regular show looks like at this point. I don't fucking care. But let's see. I'll give you an example. This is a great example of people who are, I guess, predicating what they're saying on sort of a false moral righteousness, artificial piety, or whatever. Here, this is his take. And in the title alone, you can tell. Breaking: U.S. starts illegal war with Yemen. Okay, just for the record, before we even start this, the Houthis specifically are not Yemen. They have control of half of Yemen, so they didn't strike Yemen. They struck the Houthi-held territories, which are not, according to the Houthis, Yemen. Just saying. And it's their own territory and part of a greater Iranian / ISIS-ish Shia caliphate, but whatever. The other thing is they fired missiles at our allies and at us and most of all, at civilian ships. 27 strikes in less than 24 hours at civilian ships. Just merchant mariners trying to swabbing decks and fucking trying to eat and get giant boxes of food and consumer goods and I'm guessing fuel oil and other shit to places that need it. All sorts of stuff. I mean, I don't know what's on those. Maybe you don't use personally the stuff that was on those particular boats. Perhaps, they were full of doily-esque pillowcases, or perhaps fake floral arrangement style pillow covers, or perhaps HDMI cables. I'm assuming that's what that is. Or maybe it's just a giant thing of pillows. Maybe there's a giant shipment of pillows going someplace. All right, never mind. Let's hear the take. This is the take from a guy, again, warm side of a bay window, lounging in fucking bed.
All right, guys, I got some big breaking news that just came out.
No, he doesn't. Breaking news, just for the record, breaking news is when nobody else has the news and you tell people. You are breaking the news. That's why I only use breaking news in jest, because if you are reading about it from the news, you didn't break the news. And breaking news in general, you don't get credit for that shit. And you certainly don't get to put it on the fucking title of your video. You're not breaking shit except maybe the bed springs.
We're getting reports that the U.S.
Oh, are we? We're getting reports. Are they? Are they calling it in? Is it one of your? Is it one of your intrepid reporters on the ground in the ocean or in Yemen? Do you have? Are you? Did they phone you, or do you have a satellite system? How do you get to them?
and the UK have decided that
Oh, the U.S. and the U.K. have decided. Okay, this is good.
that they are going to airstrike Yemen.
Okay, this asshole did not find out that the U.S. and the U.K. were airstriking Yemen before they did it. That's just for the record. This is after.
Now, when I say that, I don't just mean sort of tit for tat on the seas. I mean they are targeting.
By the way, the missiles and the drones that they're launching are launching from land. There is no tit for tat unless you're hitting them on land. Just for the record.
Targeting cities and specific targets.
Well, again, specific targets in cities. If they're targeting cities, they're going to need to keep bombing for a very long time.
In Houthi-held areas of Yemen.
Oh, the Houthis. I remember those guys. Hold on. There was we looked at those guys earlier. Where are the? Did I don't know if I still have that shit up from before. I'd have to find it. Where's the footage of the Houthis giving a goddamn Nazi salute? Should we bring that up? I'll do it later. Doesn't matter.
It's a little difficult in the fog of war to get all, good information.
What? The fog of war? The fucking fog of war. You're saying the fog of war? Jesus Christ, that's not the fog of war. That's the smell of your downy dryer sheets. Fog of war? Jesus Christ. Stop. Open a fucking window. What the ever-loving shit with the fog of war? There we go. Okay, thank you for that, CSL. Bless your heart. I love you for that. Here it is. Yeah. These guys. These are the guys. These are the Houthis. Yeah. You might recognize that hand signal. You might that particular posture. I don't. It makes me. I'm thinking back. I'm trying to figure out what do they have in common. So it reminds me of something. What is it? It's gotta be something. Is it Galaxy Quest? No, it's not Galaxy Quest. I love that movie. It's a hand signal that somebody does. Oh, it's gonna come to me later. God damn it. All right, maybe, you know what? Maybe this guy knows. He's got the hairdo. Oh, sorry. I was accidentally playing the sounds inside his head.
Right up front.
Oh, and for the record, those people, if you don't speak, I guess, Houthi, if you don't speak Arabic, they're saying death to America, death to Israel, curse the Jews. Death to all Jews, essentially. Yeah. And then I think they followed up later with a God is great kind of thing, but or maybe they say Gesundheit. It's hard to tell.
Here. But
the fuck? Listen to that again. Wait.
Fog of war to get all, good information right up front here.
It's hard with the fog of war to get good information here. Okay, let's be abundantly clear. There is no secondary information to be had. The U.S. and the U.K., on behalf of like a dozen other countries, including the Japanese, who have the Houthis are holding some of their people, and Ukrainians and Filipinos and Dagestanis fucking hostage. The U.S. and the U.K. were the primary people that did the strike, but we got support from like Australia and other countries who are providing radar and satellite imagery and all that kind of shit. And our planes and the UK planes are flying out in places. We have two planes. One's lasering the site, and then they drop a bomb on it, so it doesn't hit anything else. These are laser guided bombs, and since the Houthis don't have any surface to air missile strike capabilities that are guided at all, they just shoot dumb bombs into other countries largely, or their drones, which can't fly that high. They can fly these planes in. That's why they didn't fire missiles from the boats nearby to hit a lot of these interior places. They literally have planes flying over going, that's the place right there. Looking for blue rooftops is essentially the joke. But the idea is that they're hitting them very specific targets in these places. Because you know why? Because in the satellite imagery from the 10 days before, they saw exactly where the missile batteries that these assholes are firing from were parked. Jesus.
But here are the names of some of the cities that allegedly they're bombing at this moment. Sana'a.
What Houthi meat? That's amazing.
Hodeida.
Hodeida, we all gonna come around. Hello, Hodeida, I don't know how to say Hodeida, I'm making up as I go along. Come on now, everybody. Hodeida. Seriously, man. Seriously. That sounds like something I would say fucking around. You supposed to be moralizing about dead fuckers, Hodeida. I got to be completely honest with you. I once met this girl named Dida Koklinski. And anyway, she was, I got to tell you, she was a fine piece of, let me tell you, up in the holler. And we was, we found this outhouse with 2 doors on it. It's not important. But so we're in there, basically testing the seams on that thing. And we hear some crunching outside. And I swear to God, I thought it was the approaching footsteps of Dida's significant other. And I don't need to tell you that I hightailed it out of there as fast as I could run in a penguin walk with my feet around my goddamn ankles, my pants down there, and it's overalls too, which I never unstrapped. So picture this. I got my overalls down around my ankles, and the straps, shoulder straps, are kind of on my hips or whatever. So it looks like a shorter version of me with a bigger nose is giving me a piggyback. Anyways, the important thing is I start running like crazy, and I get halfway across the field, and she's like, "Where are you going?" And I look back, and it was just a cow outside chewing his cud. Oh, that's what I really heard. I just heard wasn't approaching footsteps at all. That fucker was just eating dry straw. She's like, "Get back here." And I'm like, "I can't. I pulled a hammy just getting the hell out of there." So anyways, it has not been confirmed, but rumor has it that that was that I was in many ways the inspiration for the song "Gimme 2 Steps." So, and some people don't believe it, but I'm taking it to my grave. Also, by the way, what the U.S. and the U.K. did and the Houthi strikes and all that kind of stuff these are very serious topics that require serious depth and care in the characterization of what's going on and the solution around it and how it can be played. That is what I'm actually making fun of is not the circumstance so much as this fucking chimp's idea of breaking news on a subject he doesn't know fuck all about.
Sada, Damar, Taiz, and Zabid.
Which sound very foreign. They do. They sound very different from, like, those don't sound like American, I would even say Canadian cities.
So if these reports are true, then
the reports are from the State Department and the Pentagon and the UK. They've said this is the places we struck. The only thing that would be different is if the Houthis came out and said they hit more places than that or whatever, but their communications have been destroyed, so it might be a while.
And that is a number of cities.
Yes, I wasn't counting, but I think it's 6. It is a number. That's true. And which brings us to the real question. Is 0 a number? I don't think so. I mean, that's a debate we can have, and probably will be having for millennia, but 1 is the loneliest number, so I think we can categorically say that however it feels, it is indeed a number Therefore, one would also be a number of cities.
Number of targets in Houthi-held regions in Yemen.
Yeah, that's what the article that you're reading on the news from somewhere else, where people actually just knew the news, like found out the details and are reporting it to you.
Now, I of course should point out that the U.S. and the U.K. are doing this. They say that like the Netherlands and some other countries are with them with this coalition, but this is always what they do. They'll like dread.
They? Where the fuck do you live? Fuck do you mean they? Does this, you know what? Honest to God, I just realized I don't know. Did he and Crystal, because Crystal Ball is his wife, I guess, right? Do they live in Argentina like that asshole who does the redacted Tonight Show? I just, for all I know, they fucking do their show from some like gentrified area in the Philippines, right? I don't know. What they always say. Why did they always say that? Oh, because as the citizens of those countries, we demand it. And increasingly.
In some other countries and pretend like they're part of this big coalition, but really it's just to get the name down on paper to make it appear more official than it actually is.
The UN had a vote on this, by the way. Let's see. Where is it? Do we have the? Hold on. This. Go back to here. Where is it? Oh no, Putin's egg crisis bullshit. Where's my other stuff? China's economy's cracking. Let's see. I know I have it in here somewhere. Hold on. Back to you, chat room. I'll find this. Hold on. UN vote. Houthi. There you go. It'll come up right now. Let's see. I mean, like, this is something they always do, though. You know what I mean? This is something that they always do. They get together and they go to the UN Security Council and they have a vote and where they demand the Houthi rebels stop Red Sea attacks. And the UN always condemns Iran. And Kyle Kalinske always somehow sides with the four abstentions: Russia, China, Algeria, and Mozambique. Again, just massive dipshittery. This is what they always do. Well, then why do we do it right away? Why do we fucking dick around? Why? If we can throw again, these are bullshit coalitions. We just say this. Like some dude who's just telling you how late he got last weekend, which is the sort of the depth of intellect that Kyle applies to these kind of things. If we can just do that, why do we even? What the fuck is it? Is it just for show that we wait to do it? Also, why did we let that other Houthi boat escape? Since we've got a fake coalition anyways, why don't we just shoot these fleeing men in this boat when they're leaving? They fired on us. Fuck them, right?
I mean, the big point to make here is...
Here comes the big point.
This is illegal.
No, it's not.
In order for the U.S. to start bombing another country, you need a declaration of war.
No, you don't. First of all, the Houthis are not the Yemeni government. Yemen did not bomb the ships in this strait. The Houthis have controlled these areas, but they are a non-nation state. They are a terrorist organization. They are not recognized by the UN or anybody else as the official government of these kind of places. They have simply seized territories so that they can parade women through the street, bury them up to their neck, and stone them to death, or chuck gay people off the roof. They're the worst kind of fucking people. They literally, again, genuflect like Nazis in the street together. Like this, you don't have to declare. First of all, we have a war on terror. We have the doctrine of war that the president can do if he's returning fire. They fired on innocent civilian ships over 24 times in 36 hours. We don't have to have a session of fucking Congress to return fire on a terrorist organization that's firing on innocent civilians from other countries that we're protecting. Yes, and then they fired. Yeah, we technically didn't even do this till they fired on our ships. We waited. Jesus Christ. it's technically illegal. No, it's not. Not in any possible, not in any scenario.
Through Congress. That's what the Constitution says.
No, it does not. That's not what the Constitution says. And the powers invested in the president by the Congress include the ability to act in a retaliatory fashion against terrorist and non-state actors and criminal organizations without having to get a declaration. He didn't have to declare war on the fucking mob. He doesn't have to declare war on cartels so that they can start, arresting drug dealers. Like, what the shit? You think a cop has to declare war on every person that's shooting on him? Like, we need an act of Congress. Get the shit out of here.
And Biden didn't do that.
Because he didn't have to do that. Because he already has the law behind him.
If you had the time to go talk to the UK and go talk to the Netherlands and whoever else was nominally involved here, you didn't go and talk to Congress at all, in fact.
Yeah, they coordinated the attack. The ability to do it wasn't up for question. We're not declaring war on Yemen. We didn't declare war on Yemen. The Houthis aren't Yemen. The Houthis have taken over a section of Yemen. They are not the recognized government, even by the Yemenis. It's like, we didn't have to declare war on ISIS to fight them in Iraq. We just got the permission of the Iraqis. In the areas that the Iraqis didn't control, we didn't have to get their permission because we were already there. Oi.
I've already seen a number of tweets, and credit to these...
tweets. Look out. The heavy hit. Okay, well, there's clearly going to be a heavy footnote aspect of these tweets.
These politicians who are coming out and saying this, but Val Hoyle is one congressperson who says these airstrikes have not been authorized by Congress. The Constitution is clear. Congress has the sole authority to authorize military involvement in overseas conflicts. Every president must first...
This is not an overseas conflict. We're not at war with Yemen. That's I don't care if that congressperson is dumb or well-meaning and just hasn't made himself aware of it. But again, we're not firing on the Yemeni government. We're not even firing on the Yemeni people. These were specific targets against a terrorist organization that has taken over sections of that country that even the UN has ordered to stop these attacks. They didn't. I don't know how many finger wags and how many hostages we're supposed to allow them to take. That would be the thing. My only concern, honestly, in bombing these areas, because they did bomb the port where the ship that they seized is docked. But they didn't hit the ship, so I guess they're better at bombing than you think the Israelis are, right?
First come to Congress and ask for military authorization, regardless of party. We have
Nope.
O'Connor came out and said a very, very similar thing.
Yeah, but different.
And I don't know, I haven't seen any Republicans yet say it, but of course, I know Thomas Massey will come out and say it. There may even be others who come out and say it. I saw Lindsey Graham celebrating what Biden is doing here. But let's understand something, guys.
All right, guys. Apparently he went to the Donald Trump Jr. School of internet dictation.
Why is this happening? Why is it the case now that...
I think I know. Can I say, you know what? You tell us why it's happening, and then I'll tell you why I think it's happening, and we'll just meet in the middle.
Our tax money is going to bomb Yemen.
We're bombing them with money? Jesus Christ, I don't even know why they're mad now. I thought we were dropping actual bombs on them.
Because Israel decided to do a genocide in Gaza.
Why did they just decided to do a genocide in Gaza? Okay, first of all, I thought your opinion was that they've always been doing a genocide in Gaza, even as the population density in Gaza increased over the last 20 years. But they just decided. Why did they decide? You're calling it a genocide. Now, we'll put that aside for a second. But why did they decide to attack Gaza or go after any part of Gaza or whatever? And why have there been fewer civilians or even human beings killed, including enemy combatants in Gaza killed, than there even have been bombs dropped? But besides that, why did they decide? What was the decision point? Was it because they didn't do it before? There must have been something that before they weren't genociding, and then afterwards you're of the opinion that they're genociding now. Now, what there had to be, did they flip a coin? Was there like an advent calendar like a Hanukkah advent calendar, and that they just open one of them, surprise, you got to start doing this thing. Is that what you think? So they just decided, all right.
They've killed 28,000 civilians, including 12,000 children.
According to Hamas, debatable, and of course, collateral damage being different than actively choosing to chop people to pieces. And Hamas, of course, is responsible for every civilian they put in harm's way. Also, they've dropped like I think 4,000 more bombs in the area than civilian deaths. I don't know what the hell. I guess they really hate the infrastructure more than they want to. Maybe they're trying to genocide the concrete.
And we decided. Yemen decided we want them to stop that. So we're.
Is that? Oh, they did. Did they call you and tell you? They said we want them to stop that. And by the way, just to clarify, we want them to stop that. The thing that they want them to stop is being Jews. The Houthis are big on the Jews not being Jews anymore, and they could do it a couple of ways. They can convert to Islam, or they can be turned to ash. It's a two-path, according to them, anyways. But who am I? I've only just watched the Houthis talk about it. But the Houthis decided what now? Tell me again.
We're going to go ahead and block the Red Sea to prevent trade with Israel.
That's why they're doing it. They want to prevent trade. So they kidnapped foreigners who aren't Israelis and are firing on ships and stealing from those ships that aren't going from Israel or to Israel. 12% of the trade in that part of the world passing through that area. And okay.
Now, by the way, they've been clear every step of the way.
They've been very clear. Here's, I would say, visuals of them being very clear. I think you're right, Kyle Kalinske. The Houthis are pretty clear. I got to tell you, as mission statements go, the Houthis are. I'm just saying, there's nothing there's no dog whistles. How about let's put it that way? Let's just call it. Let's just say that
Israel stops doing the genocide in Yemen.
Oh, yeah. Hold on one second. If Israel stops doing the genocide in Yemen, what?
We will stop controlling the Red Sea and blocking trade with Israel.
Okay. First of all, the Red Sea is not some like magic port. It's not a port in Israel. It is for the rest of the world. Also, congratulations, success. They should just spike the ball and go home. There's not a genocide in Gaza by any measure. Is the description of it. And again, I think you could have an argument about what certain right-wing like members of Netanyahu's cabinet, for example, want in terms of ethnic cleansing, meaning they don't have to be dead, but they can't stay here, right? There's an argument to be made that some of those folks want that. And some of them want it out of security. Some of them might just be bigots, but that's a decent description for how some of them want to be. You could call that ethnic cleansing in that zone. I would not call it the same kind of ethnic cleansing we're seeing in sort of like Sudan right now, which is an area of the world where this motherfucker doesn't care. Like, I swear to God, I went and looked. This motherfucker only gives a shit about dying Arabs or dying black people when Jews or cops are on the other side of it. That's it. The rest of it's a fucking wash. Yeah, the grain from Ukraine has to mainly go through there.
And so the U.S. looked at that, and Biden was so outraged. And
yeah, thank you for the emotional picture. He was so outraged that what? These assholes who aren't in this fight were going to fire on civilian ships? How are they going to block this? Blocking it sounds like they're just playing Red Rover, or they're like a bunch of assholes stopping traffic, like the Canadian truckers, for example.
Aggrieved by the blocking of trade with Israel as they.
Was that what was being blocked? Do you need to take the crew of a Japanese ship hostage to block trade with Israel? And I will give them the Canadian truckers, while assholes and anti-vax dickheads, At no point during their blockade, where no doubt they kept people who were trying to get to the hospital from getting there as quickly as they could, because they had to find another route around these assholes because they were blocking entire roads with trucks that not everyone has. So they were using extraordinary means to shut down transit for other human beings, which is not a fair form of protest. So fuck them. But at no point did the Canadian truckers, the right-wing anti-vaxxer psychopaths, at no point did they take hostages?
Committed genocide, that he decided, I need to go do an illegal, unconstitutional war. And
no, it was a legal, constitutional airstrike against military targets after we had been fired on. Well within the rights and rules of war and the ability of the presidency. Not even debatable. Like, even the people who are bringing it up are just effectively either wrong or they'll walk it back eventually.
Go take U.S. tax money and use U.S. bombs to go after the Houthis. Look.
Just go after the Houthis? Is that what they did? Because I'll show you something, if I may. Here you go. It's good we're talking about this stuff. It's important. You know what I mean? Let's see. These Yemen March. I don't know. There's a bunch of these folks. Hold on. Let's see. I got to find the videos for it. Videos. They're gathering in the streets. Yeah, here you go. So, I'll show you this, assholes. Hold on. This is The Guardian. I'll go to YouTube, if I may. These are Yemenis, largely in the Houthi-controlled area. These are people protesting the strikes. Now, I gotta say, put on your Dick Cheney hat for a minute and go, if I was a monster, if my goal was to just hit the Houthis, there they are in broad fucking daylight, and they just shot at you, and they're all out in this big fucking square. They were nice enough. They're even in a nice strafing pattern. If you just decided to, you could, I guess, if you're the kind of person that acts like Kyle Kalinske thinks everyone thinks, you could just fly this way, right? And just napalm everybody, I guess. But surprisingly enough, that's fine. This big mosque is fine. They're all pissed about the explosions. So this big religion is probably the biggest target in the area. Looks just fine. That doesn't, no, you're not gonna, because I mean, if the point is to hit the Houthis, or to even to hit Yemen in an illegal war, there they fucking are. And by the way, they're all essentially standing there saying, sign me up. Yeah? Wouldn't you say? And yet, why didn't we do it? You know what? Ultimately, just like Joe Biden sucks at being a communist, he's absolutely terrible at genocide too. But I'm sorry. We were all listening to this young man in the comfort of his big fluffy bed. Look, the camera moved a little bit. It's one of those covers that covers where the wire goes up the wall, but it only went so far because they had to remove their headboard because they wanted a new one, but then they never could agree on one, I guess, or whatever. And that's the HDMI cable that runs up the wall there, or did they run it? I don't know. Never mind. So anyway, something about illegal war.
I'm going to say this is straightforward and as simply as possible.
Well, that's because you're incapable of complex thought.
And this will be controversial, but it's true, which is why I'm going to say it.
Okay. The Jews are to blame. No, whatever. Okay.
The Houthis are correct.
About which... sorry. Wait. Run that by me again?
And this will be controversial, but it's true, which is why I'm going to say it. The Houthis are correct.
You don't say. The
Houthis are right. In fact, you can argue they are the ones who are trying to uphold international law here.
You mean these guys, these Houthis, the Houthis? That's okay. I don't know why you think saying what you're saying is controversial at all.
When they say, "Oh, you're going to do a genocide and nobody's going to do anything to try to stop it," well,
They're like, that's our fucking job. You can't genocide them. We're supposed to genocide you. We have dibs on genocide. We're even doing the hand gesture.
let's do the bare minimum that we can and try to
The bare minimum.
block trade with
All right. Again, block trade. They took hostages. They're stealing ships. They're stealing the goods from the ships that aren't even going to Israel.
you. So what happened as a result of that? Okay.
That what happened as a result of that is Kyle Kalinske, good old KK Kalinske, Ku Klux Kalinske, is siding with these motherfuckers. Again!
Okay, the insurance rates for the ships in Israel went
Okay, hold on. We'll go back to him. Sorry, you were saying something about insurance rates?
trade with you. So what happened as a result of that? Okay, the insurance rates for the ships in Israel went up. Sometimes they have to take a different, much longer route to get to Israel. Oh man, the horror! How terrible! But the
First of all, does this motherfucker think that the Red Sea is just for Israel shipping? I want to say, okay, hold on 1 second. I want to be clear about this. Whatever. Red Sea. I think it's what 12% of global trade. Why is the Red Sea so important to trade? It's the only route. Get the fuck out of here. It's the only route to the Suez Canal, linking one of the world's biggest consumers of tradable goods in Europe and biggest suppliers in Asia. About 12% of global trade passes through the canal, representing 30% of all global container traffic and over $1 trillion worth of goods per year. Hey, you ever heard that thing? You ever heard that thing about how if unemployment goes up a point, you can track about 10,000 suicides to that change? You ever hear that? That statistic that if there's a 1% spike in unemployment in the United States, you can automatically track 10,000 suicides to it. That's a fairly common understanding of the statistic, give or take. What the fuck does you think happens worldwide to people, especially in like third world countries where a lot of this shit comes from or goes to, when all of their trade is cut off? Because while this percentage of global trade is taken out of it, the people who are doing the shipping and stuff in that area are completely fucking wiped out. Lord almighty.
The U.S. would rather protect trade to Israel than protect Palestinian babies who are being bombed on the regular.
Okay, no, they're not. But again, this is something Shank does too. Palestinian babies are not being bombed on the regular. Period. They're not going, we're only going to hit that building if there's bombs in that babies in that building. Fuck it. Like, the idea that that's how they operate or that anybody operates like that is an intentional, like, it's an act of artificial piety. The I would never clause. Can you imagine someone behaving like that? No, because no one does. Except in this case, the Hamas did. They went and they threw a baby in a fucking oven. They chopped 40 of them up. Some of I love the people like Kyle who were like, there weren't 40 beheaded babies. They were chopped up. They didn't actually just behead them. They didn't. It wasn't an act of mass beheading. They just hacked them to pieces, and some of them got it in the neck. Like, that's his defense. Lord almighty. Oh, marinetraffic.com. That's a good idea. Hold on. We'll jump to that. Wow. Yeah, here's a good idea. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is good Lord. Hold on, I'll bring this up. There we go. Look at this fucking map. This is look at this choke point right through here. I mean, here's Syria, Egypt. This is the area right here. And so people come out of here. All these people, everything coming from here and getting, returned through here, all this shit. These guys are choking this off right here. Tanker, cargo, Modesta, cargo vessel, cargo tanker, 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 cargo, 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 tanker, tanker, tanker. So this is all. And again, if you need fuel and you live down here, fuck you. Oil prices might go up like $6 in the United States because of this, because of speculation. That's how we feel it. These people just don't get the barrels of oil they need to turn into diesel and drive trucks so the trucks can bring food to the middle of fucking nowhere in Tanzania and Kenya and fucking the Democratic Republic of Congo. Yeah, here's this bit right here. Thanks, CSL. I'll open this part. Yeah, here you go. The long shadow of Red Sea shipping disruption. More than 80% of international trade by volume is transported by sea, and the current situation of the Red Sea illustrates disruptions to shipping routes can have wide-reaching effects. The situation in the Red Sea also provides a small taste of the future of geopolitical risk, which is why we're bugging out on all fronts of the Middle East. Hey, look at that. Container prices surge. Wonder why that would be. It's almost like the people who benefit. There's Shanghai. Shanghai around. Yeah. The people that make that benefit. I can't imagine why the Chinese would be backing the Houthis in this particular situation. One of the largest issues will simply be ships being in the wrong place. Supply chains have evolved to meet just-in-time strategies. Not so much anymore, but when it comes to oil and gas, ports have limited berths, many of which are size-specific, limited physical space. Berths are booked months in advance to schedule appropriate portside support for offloading, reloading, and refueling. The ground delivery of containers and other goods are scheduled around these berth bookings. Fuck them. Vessels going dark when ships turn off transponders connected to track systems has long posed a major risk. Is done to enable a wide range of illicit activities from evading sanctions, circumventing IMO rules or contractual limitations. Red Sea has long been a hotspot for this activity. So guns and transport, which is, by the way, why the Houthis, the reason the Houthis are mad and are shutting this down is because the transport of arms from that they want to send to Gaza would take that route. And their ships can't get through, and there are too many US ships in the area, so they can't run their little minor boats and then dump the goods into the water wrapped in fucking plastic, and then Hamas divers would go out and get it and bring it in. That's how they got a lot of their explosives, a lot of their ammunition, all that kind of shit. They give them like GPS coordinates for where it's going to be. The divers come out in a boat and fucking get it, pretending to fish, and bring it back. Like, do we all have to be fucking children in all this? Do we have to pretend the world is like sunshine and rainbows until big bad Uncle Sam shows up? Good lord.
If you wanted the Houthis to stop, you know what you could have done?
Stop being Jews. I'm not a Jew. I can't help you there, but yeah, you could have just don't protect Jews or let Jews be Jews. Stop Jewing. Everybody, if you want to stop the Houthis from doing what they're doing, just stop Jewing so much.
Told Israel, hey, you've already been doing this for months. You can go ahead and wrap it up now. 28,000 dead civilians is enough.
It's weird how they're just no fighters. Are the IDF? I thought they were supposed to be well trained. Aren't the IDF capable? Because they're only hitting civilians. Are the Hamas guys wearing Palestinian babies as body armor?
Bombing, another hospital, another...
Yeah, just that's what they do. I mean, they're starting to run out of hospitals. I mean, at a certain point, you'd think they'd run out of hospitals to bomb, which they haven't done. Which hospital have they bombed? And the one that Hamas's rocket landed on doesn't fucking count. Which one? You got a screen. There is no technology that this dickhead doesn't have on his laptop that I don't have on my computer where he couldn't pop up on the screen. See this hospital right here? This is the one they fired at, and they didn't warn anybody, and they didn't say get the fuck out, and they had no reason. And when they went through the rubble, they didn't find anything. That'd be easy, right? Just do it. Just fucking do it.
School, another UN building.
You mean all the places that Hamas fires rockets from?
Another marketplace. Wrap it up. I think we got the point. I think the 12,000 dead babies is enough.
Well, again, you're taking Hamas's figures at that. Why in the world were they firing rockets from behind babies?
If you wanted them to stop, Biden could have told them, no more money, no more weapons, we're going to stop this. This is having...
So that what? The Houthis can go back to helping them prepare for the great day of the rope?
This is having wide-ranging consequences. Instead...
What, Israel not choosing to die?
What does he do? Pats Israel on the back, gives them a green light, tells them they're
Gives them a green
special
light.
and they're precious, and then decides to
go to Qatar and negotiate through the Qataris with the Hamas people there to have a ceasefire temporarily while hostages are exchanged, that Hamas breaks and opens fire and tries to negotiate to keep the women because they're not done raping them.
Drag the U.S. into another Mideast war.
We're not in a war. Again, a war on terror hasn't ever stopped. That's an argument to be had for another day, but the Houthis aren't a country.
On their behalf.
Yeah, defending Jews, which is like the worst reason ever.
I mean...
Who the fuck goes to war to save Jews? I mean, old people, sure.
I'm at a loss for words here.
Well, along with cognitive capability and the ability to kind of process with any depth reality.
Because I always expect the U.S. to make stupid decisions, to do terrible things.
Right, and then when they don't, you just overlay that expectation on anything that's done. If they do something, it's terrible. If they don't do something, it's probably because they're planning something worse.
But
also, you live here. Again, I am not an America love it or leave it person. I love this country, but partly because we're allowed to criticize the flaws and work to change it. But there's a huge difference between, appreciating the country, warts and all, and people saying, if you got to pay any attention to it, America has no flaws, fuck off if you think it does, that kind of mentality. And people who think that the United States is literally the biggest source of evil in the world, and you stay here? This isn't about me saying you should leave. I can't figure out why the fuck you stay. Honest to God. I can't. I don't know why this asshole doesn't live in Canada or Norway or some country that he also thinks is, magically blameless on the world stage. I don't know. It's fucking goofy.
This is like a level above and beyond. This was 100 million trillion% avoidable.
No, it wasn't. Well, I mean, I suppose, I don't know what your 100 million trillion%, you can only have 100 of a percent. Percent means 100 as in century. They were doing everything they could to avoid it. They didn't fire on any of these guys until they were fired upon. They went to the UN. The UN voted. I mean, obviously, you're siding with Iran and China and Russia and Mozambique for some fucking reason. Yeah, it was completely avoidable by the Houthis. They could have just not opened fire on civilian vessels and picked some other way to show their solidarity with the Palestinians. I got a good idea. Hear me out. The Houthis could offer to take in Palestinian refugees who don't side with Hamas and want a safe place to be until the fighting is over, and then they can go back home. The Houthis could take them into their territory. Oh, I'm sorry, what? They would kill them because they're Muslim, but they're the wrong kind of Muslim? Or they're not all the same kind of Muslim? Oh, good. All right, well, that settles that. We tried.
Need to be going to war with Yemen. We're
not going to war with Yemen. The Houthis are not Yemen. That's why you said early on, Houthi controlled areas. That's like saying Texas. It's like some Texan asshole saying, this is a Texan controlled area of America.
To be bombing 10 cities in Yemen. We don't need
6.
A hot war with the Houthis.
And also, they didn't bomb 6 cities in Yemen. They bombed 16 sites in 6 cities.
And by the way, another really important point. This makes Americans less safe.
Well, not if they're on these boats, I think. That would make them safer. This whole argument, by the way, that if you don't let terrorists kill people, they'll start killing us is a curious moral positioning.
Because now you are begging for retribution and retaliation because the U.S. is doing Israel's dirty work for them.
No, I think we're defending actually all of the trade in that area, and they fired on us for doing it.
This makes us less safe.
No, it doesn't.
It absolutely makes us less safe.
No, it doesn't. Also, asshole, you could not be more fucking safe. Look where you are. You are doing your show from bed. All right, fuck this. Like, that. I mean, first of all, there are no new lines there. It's the same blathering bullshit that people say when their side is getting their ass kicked and they don't want to take moral responsibility for siding with these fucking monsters in the first place. But again, this motherfucker is doing his show surrounded by pillows. There is no better example of white privilege and cush than this dusty-headed motherfucker. You're watching House Sparks Megaworldwide. I just, I guess chalk that one up for some of the maggots that think I only go after Trump and MyPillow and stuff, which we are about to do. Just to clarify, my problem is with people who are morally reprehensible and fucking wrong. Good Lord. So, all right, let's, where's this other one? Is that the one? Gotta find there's stank, and then there's, oh yeah, here you go. So, fuck it, let's just go straight to MyPillow. But I would like to say that, technically speaking, that is the way that Cenk Uygur has been talking about this. It is the same grotesque defense of Hamas bullshit. This is not in defense of they're not in defense of the Palestinian people. It has nothing to do with Arab rights or Palestinian rights, because they don't give a rat fuck how the Lebanese don't let people out of the West Bank into their country, or the Egyptians stop the Gazans from going into Egypt. They don't give a rat fuck about that. There are 3 borders and an ocean on Gaza, and the only borders that Kyle Kalinske and Cenk and everybody at fucking TYT gives a fuck about are the ones guarded by Jews. I don't know why the Egyptians get a fucking pass. If it's the world's biggest open-air prison, then 1/3 of the guards are Egyptians, so explain that to me. Good Lord. Also, I want to welcome the trolls that are here. Undoubtedly, we have some trolls that are here, and I want to thank you, because you, more than anybody, give us a boost in the algorithm. Because you make us show up in areas that we wouldn't normally show up, because a lot of times this is just people who watch this kind of stuff, might like something similar, but when you watch me, then it puts me in that feed that you have on your channel, and it allows everybody that sees your stuff to go, oh, maybe I'll check this out too, and then they might accidentally hear some truth and recognize that not everybody's their fucking enemy, and that QAnon's a bunch of bullshit, and vaccines don't give you a fucking third arm, and Joe Rogan's a dipshit, and any number of things, and that here's another one. This is a gift. Trolls, come here. See that guy right there? Okay, that's Steve Bannon. He palled around with a guy named Guo Wengui. Guo Wengui is just declared bankruptcy because he was bilking people out of money, pretending to be an enemy of the CCP. Okay. Pretending to be anti-CCP. He sucked up a bunch of money from people who don't like the CCP. It's one of the strategies the CCP has. They learned it from the KGB. It's not that weird. And this guy was on his fucking yacht when he was arrested. Secondly, Steve Bannon was sentenced to jail for bilking maggots, which trolls, I presume you are. But for bilking maggots with a bullshit build the wall campaign. Remember that? He was raising money to privately build sections of the wall. And they never did. They just kept the money because fuck you. That's what he was doing. That was the crime he went to jail for. That's the crime. And you know who pardoned him? Donald fucking Trump. You know why? Because he wasn't giving Trump his cut. That's why. And now he runs an allegedly pro-Trump channel. Yeah, Trump pardoned him and the crime again, bilking maggots. So there you go. Also, this asshole. We used to think he was just kind of dopey and misguided. He's a what's the word I'm looking for? He's an
asshole.
That's right. He's an asshole. Treats people like shit, and he hangs a cross around his neck and wears one on his lapel like it's a fucking gang sign, and has about as much emotional and religious depth as a TV preacher who's lying on top of fucking a doped up playmate. And he's got lumpy pillows.
Lumpy pillows, kiss my ass.
Excuse me, that is not very Christian language, sir, if I may. Now,
asshole.
Well, yeah, all right, I'll cop to that. Yes, clearly I am an asshole. But I will say this: assholes are eminently useful. If you don't have one, you're gonna die. It's like I've always said. Opinions are like assholes. If you tell me you don't have one, I know you're full of shit. All right, now, this is Fox News has canceled all the MyPillow advertisements. Now, spoiler alert, I have not watched this video, and I don't know what he's going to say about it. But I will say this. The reason they canceled them is because he didn't pay for them. He doesn't get free advertisement just because he's a Trump handy. He's got to pay for those spots, and he didn't. He wasn't. So there. This is it. And
Mike Lindell, how you doing,
You're
brother?
a mess.
Well, I got very disturbing news.
Sorry. All right, I'm trying to hold it. Disturbing news. Jesus Christ. I went to the went to the doctor, and I found out that I have a giant they found a mass in my colon, and it's an unpaid bill to Fox News.
And I'm bringing it to your show for this announcement.
Oh, great! I'm glad you're bringing disturbing news. It's been such a sunshiny show this morning. Hit me, brother.
By the way, can we all just enjoy for the fact that these dumb motherfuckers are having a terrible day? And also, this technically is, Kyle, I know you're still watching. This is breaking news. I don't know if it's news. It's information, but it is breaking. He's telling him for the first time. That's how breaking news works. You can't just go, this is breaking. I'm showing it break right now. Yeah. You're welcome. By the way, hit the like, the subscribe, super chats. If you're a troll on Facebook, try throwing some stars my way. Show me what a patriot you are and send me 50 stars.
Let's get it all. Come on.
Well,
we got big shoulders here in the war room. We can take it. What do you got?
Well, as you know, Steve, ever since I've been speaking out about our election platform since January of 21, they've been
since January of 21. Yeah. Which date was that really? Which date did it really go south? The period that you spent at the White House, or
attacking my company, MyPillow?
No, they haven't. They're just not gonna finance your bullshit. You caused the attack on your company. All this motherfucker ever had to do was step aside. I'm stepping down as MyPillow CEO temporarily while I fight for this, because my employees, this is not a political organization. MyPillow is all about, making good stuff and my employees. And so I'm not going to be in the commercials right now. I'll oversee some of the day-to-day, but I'm not going to be the day-to-day. I'm not going to be the face of MyPillow. I'm going to do this on my own, because this should not, good or bad, it's going to be rough road, so I don't want this to impact my employees. You could have done that, but you know why? You know why you didn't do it? Because you're an asshole. That's right, because you're a fucking asshole. That's why.
asshole.
Right.
With cancel culture, the box stores, the shopping channels, and now Fox News.
Oh. Et tu, Foxy? Et tu, Deucey?
Fox News has canceled MyPillow.
Sorry. Sad news. It's very. Can we all have please, a moment of silence for. I can't. Guys, this is serious. A moment of silence for. for. Mike, look. Seriously. I think we should all bow our heads. All right, basically silence is impossible at this point.
And I don't have the reasons why yet. I can only.
I do. Hey, fuckhead. There's like 748 million reasons why. I just don't know why it took them so fucking long.
I can only, say, well, the caucuses are coming on Monday. They know my brand is branded right with our great real president, Donald Trump.
Our great real president. Yes. I'm just saying you're labeling them that way, and I don't take labeling very seriously. It's like they're really slipshod with what qualifies as organic these days. And so when you say great, I maybe you mean grating because his voice is annoying and there's something about his like neck thing that just hold on. Put this in here. Yeah. There's like I had to put this up for legal reasons. Maybe grading is what you're thinking of. Make America grading again? Is that what you're doing? Okay.
Maybe it's because I brought Lou Dobbs over to my Lindell TV network.
That was what it was. They were like, you can't, if you can't have him, no one will, or something. No. Yeah, that's what it was. Like, how dare they take the guy we fired and forgot about years ago? Oh boy.
This weekend, but everything is just very.
Or I'm just gonna float this and hear me out. I know this is a long shot, but could it be that the check didn't clear? I've had that situation before. Sometimes you get financially out over your skis. As a struggling actor, like I said, the 90s were the Sisyphus years. It's tough. I've been through some rough times in my life. I get it. Why not just own up?
Very alarming and suspicious. Why now? Just out of the blue, you're canceled and.
Contractual period, money not enough. Perhaps the date lines up.
Steve, it's I just
Sorry, 1 second. I gotta. This is inappropriate. I don't know why. I can't do this. Come on. Let's handle this. This is serious. This is a serious situation. This is serious, guys. My pillow is no longer. You know how much joy I got out of those ads? They're so charming and so happy and so promising. And no matter what, no matter when it is, morning, noon, night, spring, summer, autumn, or winter, leap year or no, January through December, every day of the week that ends in Y, there's always a sale where 2 pillows are for the price of 1. And I know what you're thinking. That's illegal because that means that's how much 2 pillows cost. If the sale is always on, it's not a sale, but fuck you. Fuck you. What do you fucking know? You don't know business. He knows business. What's wrong with you? He knows business. It's terrible.
I'm beside myself. I don't.
Yeah, I know. The worst. I'm beside myself, and that's the only thing keeping me company right now.
I don't even know what to say. It's like
I have a couple of ideas, but they're probably not appropriate.
you go after a company when because your CEO is concerned about helping save our country.
Yeah, it's a terrible reason. I don't know why and they do it to everybody. They do it to military contractors and pharmaceutical companies and catheter companies and also catheter companies and reverse mortgage people. And that's all they're trying to. Tom Selleck just wants to help people. And they go after Fox News says if you want to help Americans, they fucking hate you. And I don't know why.
And secure our election platforms.
Yeah, and also, well, I guess that's what it is, because I don't know that Tom Selleck has ever tried to secure our election platforms.
It's disturbing. It's disgusting.
Hold it. Explain to the audience. What do you mean you've been canceled by Fox?
Yeah, you don't know. Way to pay attention, asshole.
You give them $100 million a year.
No, he owes them $100 million a year, and he paid them 80. That's a lot.
At least in the filings, to buy advertising. They're not taking your money.
Hundreds of millions of
dollars.
You mean you give Fox more than you see in sales every year? Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Our new commercial we're launching. You guys might have seen them over on Newsmax and stuff this last week.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, I gotta say, like the production value has really gone up. Yeah.
And my media buyers, they actually told me Wednesday night, and I've been sitting there. We've been trying to get to the bottom. Why would you do this to us? And
what was the answer that you got?
And it's full cancellation. I mean, you're off. They won't even accept.
Hold on, stop. Hang on.
Cash.
You give them. You give them hundreds of millions of dollars for those. Those commercials I love. You give them.
Oh my God, he just called his commercial shitty to his face. Okay, the other thing, by the way, if I may, maggots who are here, hello, welcome. Just for the record, Steve Bannon is always fucking with his guests that he thinks he's got something over on. And MyPillow, he mocks MyPillow to his fucking face all the time. And again, this dumb motherfucker got pardoned by Donald Trump for bilking maggots. And he's making fun of MyPillow to his fucking face. He just called his commercial shitty to his fucking face when he lost all of his contracts, which is probably his single biggest, highest viewed outlet. And also, by the way, let me tell you something. If Fox is turning down hundreds of millions of dollars from him, then they're getting $1 billion elsewhere. They're getting double that from whoever. From pharmaceutical companies or fucking what, I don't know, any like Fox Television is got an ad buy in there or whatever. It's more than whatever he's willing to pay for. He's probably doing all night buys on the channels after, from midnight to 6 a.m. or something, the shitty hours, and just buying them all outright. And now people, because it's an election season, the price went up and he's like not paying that amount.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
And now they can get those same amount of money from campaigns like Ramaswamy and all these assholes are running their ads in the middle of the night like dickheads.
And they're telling you now that, Mike, even though the commercials are entertaining, you can give us hundreds of millions of dollars.
Shitty, but entertaining. Entertaining in a shitty way, he means.
But the answer is no. You can't buy time. I didn't think you could do that in America. Can you even do that?
What do you mean? They don't have to sell you fucking anything. Of course they can do that. It's a private company. They can put on ads any ads they want, or no ads at all. They don't have to take money from fucking anybody. You know, asshole, that's why there's no Stormfront ads on fucking Fox. Even they have a line.
I know the Murdochs are foreigners, but can you not accept people's commercials?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they look at what the
of course you can.
MyPillow and the shopping networks, and now
hold on, that's just fucking dumb. Is that? I understand that there's like this assumption of idiotic naivete amongst maggots and that Steve Bannon has a tremendous contempt for his audience and MAGA people in general and thinks they're all fucking front row Joe morons in stupid, brick suits carrying around build the wall signs and all that shit, and actually believed lock her up, and actually believed Mexico was going to pay for the wall, and actually think Donald Trump still has blonde hair. Right, fine, whatever. But does he actually believe that that his people think that you have to take any commercial from anybody who pays you? Period. Especially if during an election season, the price, like their campaigns that are spending time on ads, that's going to be a bread and butter jump for Fox News because there's a primary on their side, not on our side. I mean, there's a joke one, but you know what I'm saying. And then through the rest of the year, there's going to be general election ads from any of the campaigns that think they've got a shot at it. So that buoys it up. That means that all the other ads are going to be paying more because it's an election year. That's how they do it.
One of our biggest platforms for them to do that. Here's cash. Can I buy the commercial? Steve,
that's how it works. Yeah. Are you wearing a raincoat and no pants during this exchange? What the fuck? Here's cash. Give me the commercial.
It's not like it's not their number one product in history or their number one commercial in history.
It isn't. I gotta say, it cannot be. I'm sure they've sold a lot. I don't doubt it. It was a big product, the pillows themselves. But if the pillow was the biggest product, you wouldn't be selling anything else. Clearly, the catheter ads are the number one thing. The pilot who caths himself in a fucking biplane because it's pre-lubed and comes in a little packet, right? That's the number one ad. Hands down. That's the one none of us can scrub from our fucking brain.
And like I say, I can only say, is it because we added Lou Dobbs this week?
Hang on.
Yeah, like Fox is jealous because you got Lou Dobbs. Man.
Hang on. Well,
it's because,
have you given them over the
Posse gets better specials? I don't know.
No, his or is they don't want they don't want to platform you in the run up to because they're all in for Nikki Haley. They don't want to around Iowa, New Hampshire particularly. They can't have Mike Lindell in there. Mike, have you given? Also, just for the record, the ads that MyPillow puts on Fox News result in a lot of money coming his way because it reaches a very big audience and it funds the money he's taking from those things. He's not only paying for his election bullshit, which legally they would have trouble with because of the lawsuit they had with Dominion. But on top of that, he's the primary funder of Fox's biggest online competitors. This shit, his channel, RSBN, RAV, he runs his ad on all those things and gives them specific codes just for those channels, just for those shows. And so he's supporting their competitor. And he makes like this much MyPillow money on these dickhead channels, right? Period. Just because of the reach. And then he makes the rest of the money on Fox, that most money he makes from ad rev turning into actual sales is on fucking Fox. And Fox is effectively financing their competitor. So even though he didn't pay his fucking bills and they told him to go pound sand or they raised their prices because it's an election year and he wouldn't go along with it, doesn't fucking matter. Ultimately, they would be stupid to run his fucking ads on there because that's how they're paying for this shit, and it's running circles around their, online pieces that they over the course of the history of MyPillow, the 10 years. Have you given Fox basically $1 billion, you think, in aggregate of advertising sales?
I went no.
What kind of commie bullshit is this? Seriously. What kind of Marxist, Marxist-y, Marxist, socialist, commie bullshit is this? You don't give a network money. You buy ad time because it's profitable for you. If you've given them $1 billion, that means you've made $3 billion. And if you haven't, you're a fucking idiot. You can give them shit. You bought ad time. It was valuable. And if it was worth more than you paid for it, you're a moron. If it it was worth more than you paid for it, you're smart. And they're stupid. If it's worth less than you paid for it, you're an idiot. Either way, there is no middle ground. You paid for it what you thought the asking price was, and you thought it was worth it, and they thought that was a good price, and you agreed on it. And from that, you either made sales on that shit or you did not. And if you did, you didn't give anybody anything.
know the number, but I know it. I know it's in the hundreds and hundreds of millions.
Yeah, no, it's in zero. You have never given Fox anything. This is just dumb. You paid for ads. Fox isn't a charity by any measure. Eat shit.
I would say it's somewhere maybe between $500 million and $1 billion. Yeah, we were. I think really we're the number one direct sale advertiser of all time. We've been with them since November of 2014.
And then in 2021, you started competitor networks against them directly and financing every other competitor network. I can't imagine why they don't want to run your ads, since they make you make most of your money off of them. It's interesting to me that they could almost, it seems a bit cruel, and I wouldn't expect this behavior from Fox News, but it seems like they might have at some point become aware that they could choke off their competition just by not running your ads on their shit. They can make money and then still sell those ad spaces to other fucking people.
A partner with them and realize, people,
Seriously, this is so fucking dumb. And also, hasn't this asshole been shitting on Fox News every interview he does? Even before this happened? Why the fuck are they going to do that too? The CEO of a company is running around shitting on your network, and they're buying the crap ad space on your network when you could sell it to a dozen other fucking people. But you were doing it initially because they were wearing their fucking cross and bullshitting their way and pretending to be Christian or whatever, and they're pretending to support Trump and all that fuck, like when they're really just authoritarian. What's the word?
asshole.
That's right. They're an authoritarian asshole. Why would you continue to help their company grow when they're shitting on you like that? Does that make any sense?
That I've advertised with. We advertised everywhere. CNN, MSNBC, Fox. We've been doing that every platform.
Yeah, but you're not creating a competitor for CNN or MSNBC. You've been attacking Fox more than MSNBC. Am I the only person that finds that fucking weird?
ABC, NBC, CBS, everywhere. If you remember after the cyber symposium, they went.
I'm sorry, the name of that thing, just because we called it the Cyberrama, and the irony is my silly name for it isn't as stupid as the one he came up with.
Fox is the only one that wouldn't let me advertise that, and
gee, I can't imagine $748 million in a giant pile without thinking of the Joker and a pack of matches.
So, I don't know if it, I can only say it's political. I don't know for sure, but it's.
Well, then I would, if I were you, I'd keep my fucking mouth shut if I ever want to get that contract back again.
I know one thing, it's for not to accept money to advertise. I don't know if that's even legal. That's what we're looking into. I mean, it's a.
Of course it is. Yeah, you don't, Jesus Christ. They're not slaves. They don't have to live by your confinement standards. What are you talking about? No one has to do business with you. This is America, you fucking communist. Again, what kind of USSR China money bullshit is this? What?
Let's just go destroy MyPillow, and I'm very distraught.
Why would it destroy MyPillow? You have all these other outlets. So if it almost seems like 90% of your sales came from Fox, in which case I don't know why you would think they owe you anything or. Oh yeah.
About this.
Yeah, it's bad enough the left does it, but I'll tell you,
Yeah. When we canceled MyPillow, it was terrible. I just did, I stopped buying MyPillow, I guess, technically before it existed.
I'll hold you through the break. I got Eli Crane up. I got Captain Fennell from Switzerland.
The captain.
The Navy Intelligence Office is going to be with us. But Mike, I got to start with you real quickly. I got about a minute here. Talk to me about, since Fonz won't take the ads, what are you going to do for the War and Posse to have your back?
Oh, this is an ad. This is just his lead up to the ad. So there's this like whimpering victimhood aspect of themselves. If you don't keep us afloat, this is fascinating enough that this motherfucker is a billionaire, clearly, or was at some point an uber millionaire at the very least, probably worth about 600 million if he doesn't end up getting fucked completely in these lawsuits. But that, like, you know, like I have a hard time reminding people of the Venmo and the super chats and stuff or whatever to keep my show going, because that's what I'm here doing. This is a job now, and therefore it requires me to be able to eat to do it and live to do it and all that kind of stuff. And it's weird enough for me to just kind of, you know, talk about it, much less all those people who go support independent media, especially like when TYT does it, when they started off with like an investment of millions of dollars, and they're incorporated and it's a big organization, so independent media is like, give me a fucking break. But beyond that, it's weird when people are making that kind of whimpering appeal, like, help support independent media, they, you know, or against the legacy media, and they use that kind of differentiating standard. It's just weird. But it's really fucked up that this dude, who's again a multi-millionaire, is using the whining "it's us against the world" argument to get people to buy his shit as a preamble to advertising.
Well, we're going to give the War Room Posse all the specials that they.
Yeah, all those specials that always run, that are always there, that you could basically at this point, you know, you could type in almost any word and it will work as a promo code. I'm not kidding. I doubt there was a single word in the English language or any proper name of any city or person besides Joe Biden that you could type into MyPillow someplace in the promo code thing and it wouldn't give you like half price. I'm dead serious. I really. You could literally type up like Mike Pillow, just big long runs. Mike Pillow's mustache smells like his, and it would, and you'd get like, congratulate, 50% off. It would accept it as a promo code at this point.
The new commercials what they had there, and it's exclusive to the War Room Posse. We're going to run those Christmas specials longer. We've got
so they're not Christmas specials, so that's another violation of the law.
We've got the flannel sheets as low as $29.98.
What? How's that even possible? Oh, it's flannel sheets. I'm sorry, you're having one second. Guys, I think there's it's an issue with the broadcast. It's not coming through. I can't yeah.
TV for stupid people. Ben Harnwell.
Is that your show?
Mike Lindell. They go to full cancel culture. Won't take his money. Thought they were capped.
They can't go full cancel culture for not running your ads. Well, I guess they don't have him on the network at all anyways. I mean, he's persona non grata. I think it goes farther.
TV for stupid people. Ben Harnwell.
Jesus.
Who had to bounce because he's working on something.
Something. We don't know. Probably had to leave. He was writing a paper on how losing is contagious, so you should avoid it like the plague. If there are any losers around you, you should leave immediately. It's a fascinating piece of work. I never needed to read it, so.
For the 6 o'clock show for me.
Great, fabulous. I'm so interested.
Or for the War Room. Ben just asked a bit.
Yeah, well, it's one show or the other. I mean, it might. Which show is it? Because somebody taking notes. Which show is he going to be on of the shows that they have on here that neither of which we watch, folks? No.
Basic question, and I've got to go because I got Eli. But just
just wrap it up.
I just want to put this in your thing. How can it be?
He wants to put it in his thing. You mean his
asshole?
No, I don't think he wants to. That's not what he meant when he said thing. He doesn't want to put it asshole. In his, that's not right.
Illegal in America not to sell a cake to a married male couple, right?
Not to sell a cake. So you have a product. No, it isn't. By the way, it is. It is illegal to not sell anything. I guess to anybody for bigoted reasons. Making a cake or using your own artistry and skill, there's actually now a carved out exception. So, that's a little silly. But anyways, so I'm sorry, I interrupted. You were basically, and I'm not sure how this works out. So Mike Pillow, in your analogy, is a gay cake. Okay, Please continue.
right? But perfectly legal not to take advertising from a patriot. Can you answer that for me?
No,
Well, what if, real quick, just, I know this is nitpicking, but what if that patriot, in quotes, is also, patriot is not a legally justifiable standard, it's a matter of opinion, so in court it wouldn't have any standing, but also, what if that quote-unquote patriot costs you somewhere in the order of $400 million? And in your estimation, by the way, by dicking around with the president at the time and making him believe a bunch of dumb shit actually may have cost you guys the election and perhaps his freedom ultimately.
really can't. You know, all I'm seeing here is it's political, and I'm so branded with our real president. They don't even want my face on Fox News all the way up to the election.
Yeah, well, there's other issues with your face that don't have anything to do with Trump. I'm just saying too.
That's the only thing I can see here, Steve.
Or you could ask them. I'm sure did they send you there was no paperwork? They just didn't return your fucking phone call?
And it should be illegal.
No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. You don't have to advertise anybody ever. And again, there's a difference between using a service or having a product that doesn't require your service, selling the thing that doesn't require your service, or making you abjectly use a service, especially an artistic one, in an inartistic way that doesn't jive with whatever you're doing, because you can't make a painter paint nudes if they're conservative and Christian and they believe nudity is bad. You can't make them paint you a nude portrait. But if they paint other nude portraits of men and women, but they won't do it because they know you're gay, and they're like, I'm not painting a gay naked man. This naked man I painted was straight. Like, okay, fucko. Just paint the fucking dude. It's none of your goddamn business. It's a painting. But I don't even know where this analogy just drove into a fucking ditch. But the idea that they have to carry your business is dumb.
I mean, how can they? Here's money. I've been buying. Nothing's changed in 9 or 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, lots changed. In the last 3, you've been shitting on Fox in public everywhere. And then you come there and like, please carry my ads so that I can finance other media outlets that go against you. That's a big change, dipshit. That's a huge fucking change. You
asshole.
Right.
With Fox News, and if you're just watching,
I mean, seriously, this is dumb. I don't even know why in the world how does this not, while you're saying it, I'm dead serious. How does this not, while you're saying that, suddenly occur to you like, oh, maybe it's all this shit talk. Oh yeah, I've been shit talking them like everywhere, like at QAnon things. Like they get bomb threats and death threats and shit like that. And fuck. Yeah. That's and some of them are telling this is for MyPillow and hang up. And yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's probably what shit. Like, how does that not just pop into your fucking head while you're in mid bullshit?
Everybody, Fox News canceled MyPillow. Done. You won't see us there. They.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be funny if the reason is because Donald Trump did a big ad buy and he bought up all the space so that he could basically flex that he's on the network. That's why. That's how it happened.
This is
promo code in a van down by the river. That's right.
Cancel culture, Steve. I never thought that, well, of course, I never thought box stores would do it. I never thought shopping channels would do it. It's not.
And then once they did, you never thought maybe I should step down so it won't fuck with my company because I don't want my employees to deal with the ramifications of my actions. Fuck them. They're my employees. If they don't like it, they can fuck off.
Not like we're not their top product of all time. And
not anymore.
And these great USA.
They fired Tucker, dumbass. They got bigger fish to fry. I don't know how much money you gave them, but it was a lot less than they lost.
Workers that I have, and
that's I gotta say that's the biggest asshole part of this. He lays this off on his fucking workers.
I'm beside myself. I'm still in shock. Why? And they won't give it.
Look, MyPillow, come on my show and I will explain it to you. I contacted him. I got a contact number and I tried to reach out to him and I asked for him to come on as an interview and talk this over, this whole thing, and I was going to walk him through how confused he seems to be about all this election shit. And he never got back to me. God damn it! Just like Danny Balls, everybody just chickens the fuck out. But if you come on, I'll tell you exactly. And in between, I'm sure I'm right, but in between now and when you come on the show, even if you come on later today, I'll call Fox and ask, and I'll even interpret the Fox speech. How about that? Meanwhile, use the promo code Lumpy Pillows if you want.
Lumpy Pillows, kiss my ass.
All right.
Listen, answer
Okay,
why.
I'm gonna give you an answer right now. In
Yeah. Let's hear it.
New York City and Manhattan, they're stripping Donald Trump of his business.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, but look, you don't explain a joke by telling me another joke. That's not how. All right.
Saw that fiasco yesterday, just like Moscow.
Just like Moscow? Wait, Trump has business in Moscow? What am I talking about? Of course he does.
Fox surrendered without even putting up any witnesses going to anybody on the fight over the machines.
Yeah, that's because they knew that if they actually tried to fight it in court, it would cost them more than the $1.2 billion that they were being sued for.
He wrote a check for $800 million with no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hence, all the money that they might have made from this dickhead, and it's all part of this package. And Tucker's responsible for a bunch of this shit. Yeah, just all of them just
Fight. And I'm not saying they would want it, but hey, you got to put up a fight. You got to present your evidence.
Unless you know you're full of shit, and if you try to present your evidence, you'll lose more. No, you don't. Do not fight if it is a losing battle. Run away, live to fight another day. I suppose is their only option, you dumbass. Let me explain something to you. Fox retreated and paid an enormous amount of money because if they'd have continued fighting, they would have lost more than was being asked for in court. They knew that what would come out in court was so much more damaging, and it was worth it to them to dump fucking Tucker Carlson and all the MAGA problems that brought them on top of, they paid $800 million and they dumped Tucker Carlson and a couple other people, just booted these motherfuckers. And the maggots went crazy and they got death threats and all that, but that was preferable to continuing to fight. They literally made the right decision and it was still fucking horrible. Meanwhile, this asshole kept fighting. Yes, this very asshole kept fighting, and he's losing everything because he doesn't know when it's lost. When he doesn't know, he's in over his fucking head. When he's that deluded or that bitter or that grotesque that he's falling for this. I don't know if he's dumb or just dug in or both. He's certainly fucking so stubborn, he's going to lose it all. He is following your advice, Steve Bannon. And by the way, if you hadn't been pardoned by Donald Trump, your advice would have kept you in jail for years, you asshole. I'm sorry, you...
asshole.
Right.
Which you, Mike, and others say there's overwhelming evidence. Well, hey, a court would decide that, but you had a place to adjudicate it. Now,
okay, first of all, that was not germane to the lawsuit that they had in front of them because they had no evidence to prove what they were saying at the time. Even if you find out later it was true, which it wasn't, but even if you had, you were predicating it on a lie to start with. You were making up shit already. And this could have just been in a situation where you were buying time for other people to fabricate evidence. That's partly why it's not the responsibility to fight on whether or not the evidence ultimately turns out to be true, but whether you had that information at the time. And Fox did not want to give out their internal, allow as many of their internal communications that came out, especially between Tucker and other people. It was just going to get fucking worse. So they just decided, we got to cut our fucking losses.
Now Mike Lindell, the other fighter who's still in the fight, they cancel him. That's economic warfare again.
Yeah, he's still in the fight. He's been unconscious on the mat for 8 counts of 10.
Against MAGA. This is because they hate Trump. They had that town hall the other day trying to be obsequious. They're trying to be obsequious because they know Trump's going to be president again.
No, I think the hosts they had in there were pretty. I mean, they were kind of mid-zone on it. I got to say, it was not the ball gargle that Sean Hannity gives him.
They're all coming back, but they hate him.
Yeah, but in their defense, he smells like shit, and they're sitting right next to him. I don't know how you even hide that. Their eyes must have been watering.
Working there, they turn it into
The makeup people at Fox must work overtime.
the Nikki network because they're neoliberal neocons.
Neoliberal neocons. Can you do both at the same? I guess you could. But I mean, why would you even bother to say neoliberal neocon when you could just say Republican? I mean, just kind of one word sums it up.
And they're going to go hang out with their buddies. The Murdochs, a bunch of foreigners, are going to hang out with their buddies.
Foreigners. Now they're foreigners. Now Australians are foreigners. Australians that live in the United States and the UK are foreigners.
The Murdoch kid's going to be in Davos.
What's sorry? Is Guo Nguai an American citizen? I'm just curious.
Are their kids on, by the way, are their sons and daughters on those Navy combatants in the Red Sea? No, don't hold your breath on that one. Mike Lindell.
Are on those Navy, first of all, I don't know if they fuck Navy combatants in the Red Sea. It sounds, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but, considering some of them and their family members live in the UK, they actually are there, and the Australians back them up. So this is a very strong possibility they got some skin in this game. You fucking don't, and both the you assholes are backing Captain Bone Spurs.
MyPillow.com, promo code WORM. You're going to join me back this afternoon where we get more
Worm? Promo code WORM? That makes sense.
details on the
That tracks.
cancel. Big key, talk about cancel culture. Fox News, blaring headline, Wall Street Journal. Takes an own hit for taking hundreds of millions of dollars from Mike Lindell.
And losing hundreds of millions of dollars because of Mike Lindell.
And will cancel him because they hate Trump and they hate MAGA.
Or he's trying to steal their audience, and he's shit-talking them while he does it. And they can make the money elsewhere very easily.
And so, hey, you're free men and women. You make your decision whether you.
That's right. You don't need us to tell you what to do and what to get and whatever. Look, we don't even need MyPillow as with their stupid ads as an ad rev on War. We don't need that.
Click it on or not, okay? I know it's white noise for most of you, but you got to make your decision whether you're going to do it or not.
Yeah, that's still a question. I would say, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Why didn't Mike name his channel? Listen to me. His channel, White Noise. Much better than Lindell TV. Much better than Frank Speech. White Noise sounds a little. I mean, is it it was because it's too on the nose? Is that what it is? just two Minnesota. Is that what it is? Two Minnesota lakes. Oh yeah, for sure then. So there we go. And by the way, hi chat room. Love you guys. Don't forget you're watching House Parks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Hello. Now, let's see. Do I have time? Shit. I'm at the end of the show, and I went way long yesterday. God damn it. All right. Shit. All these assholes are so... Okay, let's do this one piece, and then I'll let you guys go, because I got to prepare for the radio show tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Alina Hubba, who was clearly not chosen to be Trump's lawyer because of her looks. It's her intellectual depth, her deep and abiding legal knowledge, and her duck lips. Yeah.
All right, the left obsessively continues to push forward with their never-ending Trump witch hunts. Now,
what left? Why? Seriously, I gotta be honest. Especially the civil trial in New York. Like, he's a fucking tax cheat. Like, if it was really the left, they just want all business gone, period. So they wouldn't get caught up in a fucking nitpick about taxes and value.
Earlier today, Trump defied the judge overseeing far-left New York Attorney General's civil fraud case against him and gave a closing.
Isn't it good? I wish I could do that. Why can't I just make up my own lines and then and put an attributable headline up there? Like, Look what my group said. We said this. I don't know if you saw about what we said, but I didn't know this was. I'm not saying I didn't say it. My the website associated with my channel said this. So I don't know anybody over there. Do you know anybody? I don't know anybody. Look. It's a source. It's got a .com on it. What?
Statement of a whopping
Yeah, I'm just gonna have like a Hal Sparks news thing and just if I can quote myself.
5 minutes.
And I rest my case, Your Honor.
Meanwhile, Fulton County DA Fannie Willis, she continues to come under fire over her alleged romantic relationship with the lead prosecutor.
Are you guys just mad when anybody gets laid? Is that what this is? Also, seriously, do you think she had to throw tail this guy's way to get him to go after Trump? Did she sleep with Trump to make him make that phone call? I don't understand.
In that Trump case, an outside counsel paid over $650,000. His name is Nathan Wade. According to those court documents, she has been subpoenaed to appear as a witness in his divorce proceedings, and a new bombshell report from Politico revealing that the January 6th committee helped guide the early days of the Trump Georgia probe.
Guide it. Of course they did, because they laid out the case first.
As committee staff quietly met with attorneys and agents working for Fannie Willis.
Right, to give them all the information, by the way, which Trump already had and still has.
In April of 2022. Now, besides their steadfast pursuit.
In April of 2022. What? When was January 6th? Which year was January 6th?
Of more Trump witch hunts. What else did the attorney?
It's obviously a black lady thing. It's those black ladies. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just it along. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Hannity, total moron.
I agree. I'm a dope. Attorney General of New York and the DA in Fulton County, Fannie Willis, have in common, according to the.
I'm going to guess black, part their hair kind of in the middle, also relax it, some straightening going on there. She prefers a Star Trek outfit, and she's kind of going for a sort of a Law and Order prosecutor look. Did the backgrounds count, or we're not doing whatever, Home Raider or whatever.
Visitor logs both visited the Biden White House in the last 2 years.
What? They're allowing black women who are holding office into the White House? When did this happen? What the hell is the world? Ever since Trump left, what has the world come to?
Here with reaction, Trump legal spokesperson Alina Habba is back with us.
Yes. And possible duck.
Selena, great to have you. Let me see if I.
Did he call her Selena? Or did he say Miss Selena?
Spokesperson Alina Habba is back with us. Selena, great to have you.
No, he just called her Selena. He just said Alina Habba, and then he said Selena, great. Okay, sure. We'll just blow it off. Who needs? I don't care what her name is anyway.
Let me see if I have this straight here. So you
probably don't.
You have the Attorney General in New York meeting with the Biden White House, and
right, because there are federal crimes and state crimes, and they're jurisdictional issues, and information because the person she was going up against was literally the former president, which entails facts and evidence that happened during his time in office, which you'd have to talk to staff there, and you'd have to get the permission of the White House to actually do that, which would probably involve you meeting the president and shaking his hand while he's there.
White House counsel, I assume, or I don't know who. Do we know who? How many occasions have you identified she was in the Biden White House?
And also, how much lip filler is too much lip filler? Also, shouldn't there be some sort of balancing bottom to top? I'm just saying, you don't want to go full Daisy Duck, but I do think.
So what was the time frame of that?
So funny. It's like between Botox and fillers, she can't actually speak, and she just has to go. Seth, are you okay? She blew a lip. Everybody, can we get somebody in here? Somebody who works on Laura Ingraham? Someone where's that We got that kind of anti-Botox Narcan shot that they can put in your face in case it freezes up from Botox. Who has that? Somebody stop her. The weird thing is she's making more sense than ever. Sorry. Okay, this is serious. It's serious stuff. Serious.
I agree. I'm a dope.
Oh, that's not what I meant. All right, so serious stuff. And you know what? And you gotta understand, this is Trump's favorite attorney.
TPP2.
Oh, sorry.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, there you go. He feels really good about Alina Habba.
I like her a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I want to remind you that we lost before we even entered the courtroom. As I said, when we went to Trump, when Trump wanted to go to 40 Wall Street, right after the fucking court final arguments, we go to the building that has 10 floors fewer than he said it did. The fuck am I doing here, Sean? Gotta keep this up. I'm not gonna do the appeals unless I'm paid for in the first place. Shit.
We saw that there was a meeting in August, the month or two right before they filed their complaint, and there was another meeting later in the midst of our litigation on the Attorney General's claim.
You don't say. And at what time did the
So that is twice confirmed. I believe there are.
Again, so what? You got to get me him ordering it. Like, she has to show up and go, I can't do this. And he goes, you better. And then there's got to put it in writing. Make her sign this if she's going to fuck up Trump, or I'm not letting her out of this office. You're not getting any funding unless you fuck this dude up. Then you might have a case. Him meeting prominent black women in the government of states as president of these United States is not a story.
There are also reports that she had been at Miss Kamala Harris's home. This
It's a black lady cabal.
is not normal. She is a New York Attorney General voted by the New York constituents.
And she's a Democrat and a woman of color. And doesn't she understand there's a glass ceiling on her? All those Kamala Harris.
And the only thing they all have in common is the Soros backing. I
don't know. I mean, I think right now with your eyes closed and your duck lips draw back for another bite at the apple, as it were, I think one of the things that you might be thinking is their skin color, or perhaps the prominence of them as women in politics, especially women of color in politics, might be something they have in common that in general is something worth talking about. Also, they both happen, and this is probably the worst case scenario for your client, they both care about democracy. It's crazy.
cannot understand why she would have cause in the middle of a trial to go see the White House and the Biden administration.
Well, it's a lovely place, and since the last guy moved out, it smells so much better.
Let alone the top. One of the records said that they met on the front lawn. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Hold on. They met on the lawn? You mean at a large gathering of people? What off chance they had AGs from all over the country to deal with any number of issues, including crime or immigration or any of these other things. And they showed up and they met and shook hands and they met on the lawn, in secret. That's the thing. I don't know if you know, there was a lot of like poetic license, I would say, taken with the Watergate story. One of the things is that Woodward and Bernstein met Deep Throat in a fucking dark parking garage at night. They didn't. No. They met in the middle of a park, and they were all three of them were wearing those inflatable unicorn suits, and Deep Throat didn't even speak. He just farted glitter out the back of his unicorn suit, and on it were clues. It's written on the glitter. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to go for.
Really can't. And I am with you, Sean, reporting with you every day. I am in the weeds. And I...
Really? Is that your description? In the weeds. In the weeds. You're in the weeds, are you?
Still am shocked. They cease to amaze me.
They cease to amaze you? Sorry. What?
I am in the weeds, and I still am shocked. They cease to amaze me.
They did? Oh, well, then, congratulations. I guess you're no longer amazed. It's not amazing. So you basically just had that moment where you realized that they met on the lawn because it was a gathering of people who were all on the lawn. It was a large group of people and hardly what you would call a clandestine thing. And of course, Kamala Harris and I don't remember if it was Fani Willis, or Letitia James, but one of them, both of them, I think probably all three of them, they were all wearing the unicorn suits. It's tradition.
This is unbelievable. I thought Georgia was bad. And then today I have to sit in court and get notice that this person has now weaponized her, which we already knew, but now that she's coordinating as well with the Biden administration.
Well, they kind of have to because they're going after a former president. They kind of have to let him know. And also, I would like to see proof that they coordinated. I got to be honest, I don't think they coordinated. I think they had drinks and laughed at his dumb ass. I'm dead serious. I really don't think that she had to go there and get permission. I don't think the president thought he had to give her permission. Evidence is evidence, and if they request it, they're going to get it. The idea that she would come there and just sit in the Oval Office and laugh and have a beverage and go, this is going to be fun. So I just wanted to give you the heads up. We're going to do this, and I know you can't stop us, but I also wanted to give you, and I want to thank you for inviting us here. This is lovely, and we'll see you again.
Is she there for coffee? We don't.
Yes, coffee. Well, like I said, I think it's more likely champagne.
Believe it anymore.
And the joke of this is this whole case is pending.
The joke of this is that you two are actually a part of the conversation. That both of these assholes actually think they have something to add, her legally and him, I guess, rhetorically, to this situation. They don't. Neither one of these dumb motherfuckers in any way has any idea what the shit they're talking about. And she's a goddamn lawyer. Wow.
On the idea of whether or not valuations that, by the way, you have a disclaimer, the Trump organization.
Oh my God. Yeah, just fall back on the I'm full of shit clause. Yeah, that sounds great, man. That's great. Why don't you use statute of limitations while you're at it? Not only did I tell him I was a liar, but the couple of times I lied that I didn't tell him about, it's too late.
Had a disclaimer, don't use their valuations. Any company lending money, any company giving insurance, they have a fiduciary responsibility to do their own valuation. So it's a moot point. There's not a single person that's been aggrieved in this case.
Well, again, Deutsche Bank ended up having to forgive $230 million worth of debt to Trump when he got another investor after he refused to pay it, and then he sued them for predatory lending practices to the tune of $3 billion just to hang the whole fucking thing up for a couple of years. So that's pretty aggrieved. Also, the shareholders of Deutsche Bank and any of the other banks that he got loans from were aggrieved, even if the banks don't think they were, because they should have charged him more interest because of the kinds of loans he was getting. He was getting sweetheart deals when he shouldn't have. The shareholders of those banks should have made more money on these fucking loans because they were based on bullshit.
You have no complaint from anybody, no lender, no insurance company.
Literally because of NDAs they signed on these giant fucking sketchy real estate deals. Half these banks aren't complaining because if they did, they'd have to show what part of their books they did these deals with, and when they did, you'd see who else was involved in them, and that would make him look like shit and show that they were money laundering. So everybody just keeps their fucking mouth shut and their head down.
I mean, it's absurd on its face. They want to seemingly fulfill the campaign promise to go after one man, Donald Trump, one family, the Trump family, one organization, the Trump organization, and completely cancel them. And
well, I got to say, promises made, promises kept, but they didn't actually make that promise, so.
Then you've got Fani Willis meeting with the January 6th committee.
Yeah, because they have all the evidence, and they literally have all the correspondence between Trump and Raffensperger and Kemp and the recordings of the phone call. They have all that, and some stuff that the Georgians, the Georgia office had, some they didn't. So You're goddamn right they coordinated with them.
And
the crime happened in their state. He called from where Congress is.
and then an outside counsel she's hiring and taking extravagant vacations with, well, she met with the J6 committee, and both of them went to the Biden White House. And by the way, he charged Fulton County for the hours that he was there with Fannie Willis at the Biden White House. Is that
right? Because they were working on the case.
correct?
Can you imagine?
Well, I think they charged him for the time he was in D.C.,
know,
like the hotel room.
World where you're trying to be corrupt and then you bill your time to the corruption. I mean, what planet are we living in? Honestly, the stupidity is.
You live on a planet, not in a planet. What world are we living in? What planet are we living on? If you fuck it up, just, like I flip-flopped something earlier, just walk it back and straighten it out. It happened to anybody. But you're in charge of being smart about this. That's why you're the lawyer on. All right.
Amazing. If it proves to be true, I really.
If it proves to be true.
You got to get popcorn at this point, but it's not a joke, Sean. These are real people. The Trump organization paid over $300 million in taxes over the past few years to
right after they left office because he got tax breaks he didn't deserve beforehand and couldn't get out of it.
Employees. This is about people that work in the company.
Oh, wait. Also, this extension of you get to take off the taxes that your employees paid or that you had to pay for employees or something, like the government is in charge of making it free for you to have employees, is fucking stupid. And talk about a bunch of commie bullshit.
This is about the kids who won't be able to get a mortgage.
Okay, adults. They're in their 40s.
And won't be able to take out a car loan because Miss James and people like her had a political agenda. It's not a question.
Why wouldn't they be able to? First of all, why would they need a loan or a mortgage anyways? Aren't these assholes rich? Secondly, well, there's nothing like they may lose their business or whatever, but there's, first of all, Trump's got like 3 of these maggot banks throwing money his way. They've got dozens of remedies in this. I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about.
A fact. It is a fact. There is video footage of it. And
wait, of what?
To take out a car loan because Miss James and people like her had a political agenda. It's not a question of fact. It is a fact. There is video footage of it. And like I said today in court, not one piece.
Oh, I think the footage she's talking about, they tend to do this like acting like it's a hot mic or a recording, like they do with Biden when he's at the CFR talking about the Shokin firing, and he's on stage talking about it, and they're like, he was caught on video saying it. Like, caught on video? They filmed the fucking thing. It was live streamed to the internet. He knew it. They all sign off on it. What the fuck's wrong with you? Meanwhile, though, what she's saying is that because I guess Letitia James ran on getting Trump, there's video of her saying, fuck that guy, and she knows she's saying it. And she won based on it because New Yorkers in general feel the same way.
After 3 years of investigation, not one piece after 11 weeks shows that any of them committed fraud. All that it shows.
Yes, it does. The only reason you can say that is because you think the "we're full of shit" clause wipes out all the full of shit that's in there. You should do your own evaluation, but this building has 10 more floors than we say it does, and my apartment's 3 times as big as I say to, and I've already got other loans on it, so these people agree that that's how big it is, and I'm not going to let you in to take measurements, just going to take my word for it. That includes the elevator shafts, I suppose, so that's if you really think about it.
Is one thing, desperation and election interference. It is pathetic.
Alina.
It is obvious.
Look, that's where the duck lips thing was. Like, this is the video I was talking about yesterday, where she's just like, it's like, Jesus Christ, I keep expecting her to go.
And the American people get it. Listen, you're not meeting with the Biden DOJ. You're meeting with the Bidens. You're meeting with Kamala herself in her home.
No, not in her home. On the lawn at an event. You just said it, dipshit.
What is going on? And what?
Well, I don't know. Here's a good idea. As a lawyer, find out before you talk shit.
When is our country going to stop talking about it and start doing something about it? Because
we are doing something about it. We elected Joe Biden and kicked this dickhead to the curb. And then the person that we elected put somebody in charge that looked at the crimes that this asshole committed as real things that should have real consequences. And then, not on top of the fact that he fucking sent his supporters to attack the fucking Capitol to try and stay in office. Yeah, we're doing something. Society is doing something. We're laughing at you. We're laughing at what a dipshit Sean Hannity is.
I agree. I'm a dope.
You know, look, I'm not spinning my wheels here, lady.
they have no problem doing something about it when it's Trump.
Right. So we are doing something about it. I mean, you got to agree. We're not doing what you want us to do, but we're doing what I'm just saying we're doing something. We're just doing the opposite of what you want because what you want is fucking lunacy.
If the case is mostly based on valuations, and
it's not.
They're implying that President Trump put in valuations that were not accurate. But yet you have a judge in the case that's clinging to the idiotic, completely moronic view that Mar-a-Lago is worth a mere $18 million.
Oh, they're playing him off. They don't even like his argument.
I mean,
that's the valuation that Trump gave it for tax purposes. For tax purposes, Trump, to minimize how much tax he would pay, he gave the cost of the place not on its worth as a building or its location even necessarily, because the location is immaterial, because it has to maintain its status as a club to anybody who buys it, or the tax on it goes way up and nobody would buy it for that and pay the exorbitant taxes to make it a residency again because there's too much land associated with it, and that's exactly why. So you have to keep it a business, and so he kept it a club for legal purposes and for tax purposes, and to keep it that way, he values the place at the amount of money it takes in a year, and if it will continue to do so for a period of time, like a couple year cycle, and then the cost of the fucking place to materially build from scratch. And that's about $18 million. If you were going to value it as a club and all the other shit around it, you could probably make an argument for $120 million in the surrounding area, but it's got to stay what it is forever. Or the price of the legal cost of owning it goes way up because the taxes would go up. He made the argument it's worth $18 million. That's his standard. For tax purposes, that's his valuation of the property. If it was fucking knocked out by a hurricane tomorrow, the cost of rebuilding it and the cost of starting it up again would be about $18 million. That's it. Not $1 billion, fucking nothing. That's why. He did that number. That's Trump's number.
He would be more guilty of anything that's even being alleged against the Trump organization. Am I wrong?
Yes, you're wrong. You're also a dope.
I agree. I'm a dope.
Yes, the judge is not guilty of fraud because he's using the number that Trump gave to the tax man.
Sean, he should get damages for how much he's been prosecuted and how many years he's had to pay for lawyers and defending these
Wait, unreal? Is he paying for lawyers? Congratulations. Yeah.
Garbage claims. He should get damages.
Yeah, he's not getting damages. He's not going to. I mean, you can think that. You seem very upset. Maybe you want him to get damages so he can ultimately pay you. I see. That's what it is. So you want the state to pay Donald Trump so that Trump can pay you. Fucking commies, man. I don't understand it. All these motherfuckers, they're just all a bunch of commie pinko, socialist, Marxist commie pinkos. All of them. They want the state to pick up the slack. They want the American taxpayer to pay damages to Donald Trump just so he can pay his attorney for having to go to court like everybody else does. You don't understand. He's being treated like a normal American. He didn't sign up for this. He didn't fake bone spurs and survive the Vietnam War by not being sent so that he could be treated like us? Are you out of your fucking mind? Who does he think he is? The kidney? I don't know. All I know is I gotta get a cat. Hold on. It's cold down here. I don't want to go down here. What are you talking about? There he is. Did you, Murphy? Hi, Murphy. Well, tell him a story. You don't like it? I know. Hi, buddy. I know. Murphy's touchy. I know. Hi, buddy. Hello. He just. Well, tell him a story. How come? You don't like it? I know. Well, you'll be okay. Is it all right? Whoops. I'm sorry. I lost my earpiece fell out. I was carrying you. Hold on. I know. Tell him. Now a word from Murphy. Yeah, how come? You don't know? But you're a handsome man. You're a handsome kitty. Yeah, people say you look like Batman. It's true. Look at you. Everybody's like, it's Batman. I know, buddy. What are you doing? How come? Yeah, I know. Well, is it what happens? Is that what happens to a Murphy? You don't know? Well, it's hard to say. Yeah. All right, I'll let you down. Here, hold on. Come here. Put you on the couch. Hold on. Okay. Fine. Hold on. My headphones.
Know a little bit about Florida real estate now.
Shut up, Sean Hannity.
That property is worth closer to a.
I know. I'm sorry. Were you napping? Were you done? Do you want to say hi? Okay, he had it. He's like, what? Did I get kicked to the curb? What happened? He's just expressing his views. Yeah, Murphy's like that all the time. All the time. Murphy talks all the time. Murphy does it. God forbid you set a fucking alarm and think you're gonna snooze it. You are not. I gotta say, fuck you, Tony Robbins. You ain't got shit on Murphy the cat, because if anybody can get you up and motivated and out of bed and keep you from hitting snooze on your dreams, it's Murphy. Because you turn over to try and you ever wake up before your alarm and you're like, I'm going to shut my alarm off and give myself a little extra time, or change the alarm. He'll hear you rustling, turning over like, bow, 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 bow. Mama, time to get up. Come on. Yeah. It's like having Wolf Mother playing at the end of the bed. Mama, lady. Yeah. He's a very handsome cat, though. He does have that, and he's very smart, but he's a pain in the ass. And there you go. And anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. See you in the morning for House Sparks radio program Megaworldwide. Remember, like, subscribe, share the show, share the clips. Comment on the clips. That helps too. That really does help us. If you see one of the clips and you're like, oh, people should see this one. This is a chunk that we talked about and this was very funny. Just share it on your social medias. That really helps us. It really does. And I don't ask often, but when I do, I mean it. I should ask more often. Shit.
I don't want anything that's good. Even outside, it's packed.
Oh yeah, that's cool.